Hey guys, it's your girl Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. I am back with a video that I owe you guys today, and that is my second impressions on Gigi's nail co. So I have some of her Christmas dips here. I picked up a couple of Christmas marbles, so we're going to put together a really simple Christmas themed mani, and I'll show you how these apply with dip liquids. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, then stick around, we're getting into it. Are we loving the new intro? That one was made by Carole Annette. She is multi-talented. If you are not following her, I don't know what rock you're sleeping under, but I will have her YouTube channel link down below, as well as her Instagram. And she does a fantastic job creating logos and the video that you just saw, and there's an outro that goes with it. So super impressed with that. But moving on to Gigi's nail co. So can we just take a minute and appreciate this adorable packaging, because it's so cute. She wraps it up like a little piece of candy, and it's got the sweet dippins and then your name on it. I mean, I just think that is so creative. I really love that. So I've got 4 dips here. I'm going to be using 3 of them today, one of which is a marble. And she sends an insert with her dips that explains how to apply the marbles with gel liquids, and I'm not very familiar yet with the gel method. I know what to do, don't get me wrong, and I used to use gel polish for years, so it's definitely something I want to try. In fact, I'm thinking of doing a wear test on that gel versus dip, but I'm just comfortable with dip liquids, and that's what I really prefer to use. So when I saw Corgi's Wine and Nails say that she was able to do hers with dip liquids, I figured I wanted to try mine with dip liquids too, so that's how we're going to use those today. So I'm only going to be using one of the marbles today, and this other one that I got, I wanted to show you. It's Candy Cane Lane. It's really cute. It's really just all white and red, which makes a perfect kind of candy cane vibe. So it's a really pretty marble. It's just not the one I was going to use today, so I just wanted you to see that one. So the 3 dips I'm going to be using today is this red called Naughty List, and it's just a solid red. And then I have this solid green, and it is called Wishlist. And then the marble that I'm going to be using is this really pretty multicolored one with Christmas colors in it, and it's called Mint Candy. Okay, so we're going to put the red called Naughty List on my thumb and pinky, and then we're going to put Wish List, which is the green, on the middle finger, and then we're going to put that gorgeous marble on the pointer and the ring. So like I usually do, I'm going to go ahead and dip out my solids first. I'm going to go through these with you, and I'm just going to do the red and the green both at the same time. But I want to catch up to speed a little bit on how things are going with the transition to my new iPhone. Guys, it's been a journey. It's only been a few days, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so much. So speaking of that, I did get a little handheld mic, and I'm liking the way this is sounding better than the last video. But you guys said it wasn't that bad in the last video, so I don't know, maybe it's all in my head. But you know, if you hate this this new sound, let me know. But I think this is probably going to be a better option for me. I dislike it a lot less. But you know, when you use something for so long and you get so used to it, it's so hard to change over. You know, I'm just very resistant to change naturally. That's just my personality. So it's literally been relearning how to use the phone, and then I'm really having to relearn how to photo and video all over again, because this device is just so different than the one I had, and I'm just really missing my old one right now. I was telling a friend that I've been having trouble with nail fees because I took a few test shots, and I'm telling you, like, I'm 42. I have some wrinkles. I'm not going to tell you I don't, but it made me look like I had an old crone's hands. It was so bad, and I just was so upset, and honestly, like, maybe even a little bit, like, I don't know, insecure about it. I'm like, is that what my hands really look like? But then I would look at them and they didn't, so I don't know. I was having such a hard time. Well, after much Googling and YouTubing, I finally figured out what the problem was. This phone has a setting on it where when you get to a certain distance, it automatically switches over to macro mode. And I like to take my nail fees pretty close up just so you can really see the details and everything. Well, apparently because I was getting so close, it was switching to macro mode. So it was like macroing my wrinkles and like any imperfection in my hand. So yeah, of course it looked bad. So we turned that off because iPhone, I really don't want you to macro my wrinkles. If for some reason one day I want you to, I'll let you know, honey. But I don't really think that's going to happen. Please don't macro my wrinkles. So maybe at some point I'll show you some macro shots of some really cool glitters, as I get more comfortable with this thing. But yeah, no macroing of the wrinkles, please and thank you. How about that red, huh? Nice and smooth, and for one layer it's pretty darn pigmented, so far so good. So I'm gonna put on another layer and I'll speed this one up a little bit and I'll let you watch just for a bit, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to go and activate these solid nails like I usually do, so I don't have to worry about glitter getting stuck to them. But I just want to say that I feel like everybody gets really excited about her marbles, and that's me too. I feel like that's what's really unique about her brand. But I have to say, these solids are just super impressive. And the ones that I did for that sweater nail, if you guys didn't catch that one, the same thing. The solids and the shimmers were gorgeous too. I mean, super smooth and very pigmented and very little filing or buffing required. So I have to say, yeah, her marbles are fantastic, and they're definitely the unique part of her brand. But I have to say, she makes some really fantastic solids and shimmers too, so don't overlook those. Okay, so let's talk marbles. So that was definitely the type of dip that first attracted me to her brand. I just think they looked really cool, and I have to say, having played with several of them now, they're very unique. I can't think of another brand that's done a dip powder quite like this, and I think they're well named because I think once they're finished, they do kind of give a marbly effect. So it's kind of a nice way to give like an artsy type look without actually having to do nail art. So if you can see the texture of this, it's kind of like a fluffy white powder, and just somehow when you put the liquids on it, it kind of just all melts together and makes a really cool texture. So within that fluffy white powder, there's usually some matte glitters, there's some shiny glitters, there's some foil pieces. It varies from marble to marble. She's always got some chunkies or some smaller pieces. So they're all similar in performance, though the things she includes in them might be a little bit different. They're all pretty similar in the fact that they kind of all meld together and make this marbly look. So like I said previously, she does put an insert in there where she explains how to do the gel method with these, and it has been suggested that that is the best route. I have not tried these with the gel method yet, so I can't really compare the gel method with the dip method, but I have already done these once with dip liquids, and I'm going to be doing this again today with dip liquids, just because like I said, I haven't really tested out the gel method yet. So I have not had any problems at all using dip liquids with these, and I know there was some concern that it would be difficult, and that definitely kind of made me shy away from them at first too, but they're not at all. I would say they're very much like a chunky glitter. You can pretty much treat them the same way. I do like I usually do with my first layer or two, depending on how many layers I need for the opacity. I kind of scooch the big pieces out of the way and just try to get the background, and that's really it. I mean, I don't really have to treat them any differently than I do a chunky glitter. So I just save those big chunky pieces for the very top layer and just kind of get the background in the first layer or two. So hopefully you can see as I put the second layer on how once you add the liquid, it kind of melts everything together and it makes that really cool marbly look. But if you can't see it very well here, you'll be able to see it in the photos at the end. It just makes such a unique textured look. But I'm doing the same thing that I did on the first layer. I'm just trying to pick up the background here, and then I'm going to hand place some chunky pieces on top. I'm just trying to avoid too much bulk and too much irregularity with the shape by adding too many chunkies on top. So whatever I pick up is fine, but then I'll add some more hand placed on top. Okay, so I'm just pouring some of this out so I can get to it a little easier, and then you can see I'm going to sprinkle a little bit here onto my tray. That way I can kind of just use some of those loose pieces that are there to pick up and hand place those. Alright, so we're ready to encapsulate and clear. So in my last order, she gave me a freebie of her clear, so I'm going to go ahead and try that out today because I have not tried it yet. I forgot to use it last time. So we're just going to clear encapsulate the marble nails. I'm not really going to worry about the solids because they don't strike me as anything that's going to give me any trouble on filing and buffing. So we'll just clear coat the marbles only. Okay, so here's everything before filing and shaping. You can see it's not going to take me very much filing and shaping at all. These just went on super smoothly. Even the marble went on very nice and smooth. So there's not going to be much filing and shaping here to be done. But I'll go do that off camera and I'll be right back. Well, no surprise at all, everything cleaned up beautifully, and now I'm just going to go ahead and top coat everything but the middle nail. So I'm feeling like adding a few 3D snowflakes from Poshies on that middle nail just to kind of tie everything together. So let me go get the top coat on everything but that one. Okay, so we're back, and hopefully now you're starting to see that marble look with the top coat on it. It's just so unique, and I love all the textures and the shapes and the holographic look of it. It's just so pretty. So I recently grabbed these little 3D snowflakes from Poshies to try out, and I thought because of the gold it would kind of tie in with the gold in the marble. And these are just slightly raised. They are 3D. They're not like super crazy. She's definitely got some other 3D decals that are much more raised than this one. But I'm just going to cut a few of these out, and I'm just going to put them on the nail just kind of haphazardly. There's no instructions with these, so I just treated them the way I do all my other water slides, but I mean it's pretty much the same thing, and it worked just fine that way. So I just cut a few of these pieces out, and I'm going to go ahead and do kind of my lazy method for water decal. So I will have my normal process linked for you in the cards. That was my Sol Dip Mani with Dia de los Muertos decals. And those I do my full process, but this is kind of my I'm feeling lazy process because I'm not doing a full cover decal, so I'm not quite as worried about it being perfect. So I'm not going to be using my Macart foil gel. I'm just going to use my typical gel base. So I'm just going to put a layer of that on first. So while I was finishing curing, I was using my other hand to put my water slide decals in there just to save a little time. So you're just going to pop those in, and you'll pull them out and lay them on your paper towel and slide them right off just like any other water slide decal. It's just instead of using a full cover, we're just using these little pieces. And we'll just pick them up and place them right onto the gel base, and that's it. Easy peasy. So once I've got all those pieces placed, I'm just going to go into my top coat. So really, I mean, it's pretty standard. It's the same process I always use with the gel base and the gel top to finish them off, but instead I'm just sandwiching these little partial decals in between the two layers. So again, if you're not going to use a full cover decal, there's really no need to get that involved with it. If you're just using little pieces that you're placing on there, just use your gel base and gel top. It's easy, it's fast, and I haven't had any issues with them coming off or lifting, anything like that. All right, all finished up. And you can see with the top coat on there that the decal is a little less raised. You can still see it. It's still a little 3D, but that's fine. I wasn't really that concerned about it. I just really like the gold detailing on these that I thought would really kind of tie in with the marble. So, okay, so we're desperately in need of some cuticle oil here. So I am back today with my Scales of a Mermaid here and Not Your Basic Vanilla. And this is just a vanilla scent with kind of a hint of mint. It's really nice. And there you have it. So nothing like a Christmas mani with some classic Christmas colors, right? And I love how the gold decals kind of tie everything together. And check out this marble close up. It's just super cool. It's such a neat effect. So I have now tried 6 of her dips and her clear, and literally there is not a dud in the bunch. Everything performed so perfectly to the point that everything I've used has required almost no filing, no buffing. Everything just laid so perfectly and laid smoothly, and there were no streaking or patching. Just really awesome. And like I said with the marbles, don't be scared off by thinking you have to use the gel method with these. You definitely don't. You can see I've got a nice effect here with the dip liquids. So super happy with how this one turned out. Have you guys tried any of Gigi's marbles yet? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to know. As for me, I'll definitely be looking to see what she puts out in the future. I'm definitely into the marbles. I'm here for the marbles, so I'm going to be looking out to see what other kind of marbles she releases. But, you know, like I said, not a single dud in the bunch, not just the marbles, but the solids and shimmers too. And that's going to complete this video, guys. So we're getting pretty close to Christmas here, getting really close. So let me know if you finished your Christmas shopping, because I did all of mine pretty much on Black Friday, and I may have done a lot of shopping for me too while I was at it. It's not my fault. There were some really great sales, but point is I'm done. I just have to get everything wrapped. So how about you guys? Are you more of a let's get it done early, or are you last minuters? All right, so thanks for taking time out of your day to watch this video. I appreciate it so much. And if you enjoyed it or found it helpful, it would help me out so much if you would leave me a thumbs up down below. And while you're there, if you're not subscribed already, I hope you will consider subscribing before you go. And don't forget that notification bell. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.